gamers, and welcome to episode 324 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for April 10th, 2021. I'm one of your co-hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, it's a little somber week, man. We had a death happen in the music industry. DMX did pass away recently, and I remember when they said, like, there was, this is what I heard when I first heard about when he went in a coma, like it was overdose, but I'm hearing some stories from the family that it could be COVID vaccine related, but it could be a mixture of him maybe on drugs and a vaccine, mixing with it. I think that could be a possibility, but
dangerous cocktail.
That's why I say, like, look, man, if you're a person who likes to have a good time, you might want to just really do a lot of research. And if you don't see nothing talk about mixing the vaccine with stuff of that nature, maybe it's safe. Maybe it might be safer not to just do it than just to wait, because if you doing those hard drugs, you don't want to be taking a chance with that. Hey, but I don't know, like what he actually died of. But he did die, and it's sad because he's only 50 years old. Only at 50. Yeah. I mean, I used to listen to his music back in the day, of course. Everything, the Rough Riders. I had some of the shirts. Nice. But yeah, I mean he was like the hotness back when I was in 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, like middle school. I know it was middle school. But man, I always imagine him if he's going to die, like it would be like somebody shot him. That's what you always
while
imagine.
He's pretending to be an FBI agent. Yeah. But but like this, it's a tragedy. If I ever find out the real truth, if it's overdose, man, that's a shame. Something else, it's still a shame to die still that young. It's to die that young, too. And yeah, I see a lot of fans out there, supporting him. And yeah, maybe you got anything you want to say about DMX? I was right there with you around that time period, listening to those albums, Flesh My Flesh and whatnot. And there were a lot of songs that I liked from DMX. Yeah, I really liked his music back in the day. He was definitely a product of the time, a little more aggressive rap. But he also mixed it with like the prayer stuff and things like that. And I think it was very, very intelligently done. Like he had a good mind for what sounded good and what you could sell to people.
It did. Yeah. I used to always like that, like, especially like the aggressive rap. It just kept you moving. It kept you moving. It's like, oh yeah. Like I used to just always bop my head to that music. Or man. It's like,
Rough Riders anthem and all that.
Yeah. I just want to beat up somebody. I just want to beat up somebody, Daniel.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah. It's just, like, just thinking back on that now, like, I was like, man, it's like giving back some memories of that time.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, it's sad to see him go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, the Prince died too, but oh well. Then
there's only one Prince I recognize, Dominic, and he's been dead for years.
Yeah, exactly. he was formerly known as Prince, and now he's Prince. He was Prince again. Yeah. But man, it's. Anything else happen? Any other news to talk about? I don't think anything else is going on except for we can talk about the sports to see what's going on in the sports world. We got baseball. We got like a full weekend. So Orioles are okay. They're 4-3. They got beat up at the home opener though. They play again today. 4-3. It's manageable. It's not like they just really suck.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought that record would have been higher because, like, every time I just happened to see the score, it was them winning. And I was like, oh, man, are they, like, undefeated? Then I looked at it this morning, and I was like, Oh, yeah, that sounds about right for the Orioles.
Yeah, they got one win with the Yankees. I was happy we got that win. And that went to like extra innings to get that win. So that was an exciting game to watch. Yeah, but baseball is in full swing. And also with the Astros, you remember them, the cheaters from the 18 champion? 20, not 18. Was it 18, 19? One of them. So not 2019. 19 was the Nationals. So 2018. Okay, god damn it. Somebody's car alarm is on. Or actually, I don't know. It's a car alarm. It sounds like it could be just them honking the horn. Anyway.
Yeah,
the Astros
17. No, that's when they lost.
So it is 18.
What is it? 2018. LA Dodgers.
No, that was the Red Sox. That was
the
Dodgers that they went to last year.
Oh, the color code. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. The color coding is something else. Yeah, so they won in 2017.
2017. Okay, and they won in 2017, and they found the cheating because of recording pitches so they can read the pitches from video cams and stuff like that. So now we got fans. See, last year we didn't have fans to really boo them. They only booed them in the spring training, but then COVID hit, and then we didn't have fans when they finally had a season. But now that we have fans, we got people actually booing and saying things. I think they were playing the Angels, and like somebody threw a trash can on the field, and then somebody threw a balloon, like a float, like what you be in the pool. That looked like a trash can.
Where does someone find
the
such a thing? I mean, I guess like last year, everything was being turned into, or rather, trash cans and garbage cans were being turned into every object you could think of because people were calling it a garbage.
I'm just saying, maybe because I didn't see the whole part, so maybe it was you could actually use it as a trash can. I don't know, but it was they threw it out on the field like people were, and they got signs. And already the manager saying he's tired of it. I'm thinking like, dude, you got a long season. It's only been a week. And you're going to have 80 games. You're going to be away from your fans. So you might want 81 games. So you might want to, get used to this. Because you didn't have fans last year. So they remember.
Yeah.
They remember. They were ready for this. So they did, and they held it in all last year. They held it all in. Now they're ready to let it out. And call them the trash trolls. I saw that sign. The trash trolls. But anyway, what else is happening? We have... Ain't really much to say with basketball. Ain't really much to say about... I don't know what's going on in hockey. Don't know what's happening. No NFL drafts coming up. Other than that, I think... trying to think, is something else? Anything else? Sports big that's happened? I can't think of anything. So I guess, WrestleMania has happened, but NXT happened, right? The takeover, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff happened. It was 2 nights. It was Wednesday and Thursday. Both nights were pretty good. I fell asleep before the end of the second night. It's just been a lot of wrestling this week, Dominic, because Raw, which I didn't watch, to be honest with you. Then Tuesday night was the Hall of Fame, which was combining last year's and this year's, which was actually kind of nice because they just kind of gave everybody about 15 minutes and cut them off. Well, they didn't cut them off. I mean, they've literally had to direct people off stage before because they were going long. But that's how these Hall of Fames used to be. It would first be someone who was inducting the person. So there would be someone that comes out, talks about the inductee, and then the inductee would come out and ramble on for like 45 minutes to an hour. And this was very nice and concise. It's like, okay, we get these people out there. They tell a nice little story. They talk about how they appreciate being part of the business. And then we move on and go on about our lives. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday was the first night of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Excuse me. And then that ended with the women's title match, Io Shirai versus Gonzalez, and she won. I can't remember her. Raquel Gonzalez. They changed her name at some point. And that was good. The best match of that night was probably Walter, who is the NXT United Kingdom champion, because they have a separate show for that now, and versus Tommaso Ciampa, who has been the NXT champion previously. That was just a hard-hitting fight. It was awesome. And then night 2, I feel like night 2 actually didn't deliver as well as night 1, which was a bit surprising to me, because like looking at WrestleMania right now, it feels like night 1's kind of got maybe some of the lower card filler matches besides Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre for the Raw Championship. And then what we found out yesterday was going to headline the show, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which should be incredible. I'm excited, for one, because this is the second time the women have gotten a chance to headline WrestleMania, but also because they have it split between 2 nights, I feel like it's not going to go as late. And the Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey match, that was the first one, went on so late because that's just the way WrestleMania goes. You know, it's like 7 hours or something fucking bananas like that. The excitement just kind of wasn't there, and I'm hoping we get a little more of that this time. And the build for that has been kind of questionable. They've spent a lot of time having them do tag team matches for the women's tag titles, and then they finally just kind of had Sasha turn on Bianca and become the quote-unquote heel, the bad guy in this whole scenario, because up until then, they were both kind of faces. So I'm excited for that. Night 2, you'll have probably headlining would be Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan versus Edge. Daniel Bryan has a lot of momentum going into this match, but it just kind of seems like he's there to one, have something to do during this WrestleMania. Up until them inserting him into the match, he didn't really have much to do. And also just hopefully not, but basically to take the pin from either Roman or Edge, so that you have Roman continuing this incredible streak that he's got going right now with this heel character, but not having to beat Edge, who is your huge babyface coming back. Or to have Edge win the title, which will be like, I don't know, I think it's 7 years to the day or something like that he had to relinquish the title and retire because of his neck, and now he's back, and it would be an amazing story. But it feels like they've kind of moved away from that, because now in this scenario, Daniel Bryan is the face, Roman Reigns is the clear heel, and kind of Edge is somewhere in between, because he's angry at Daniel Bryan for basically taking what should have been his opportunity to be the top guy and to win this title, and now he's inserted himself, and it feels like he's in the way, you know? So that build has been pretty good. That's kind of the only one that sticks out to me as anything too incredible, but I'm excited. It still feels weird. It doesn't feel like it's WrestleMania time in the same way, but it's going to be cool being back in front of a crowd. And they kind of made SmackDown the pre-show already, so they're not going to have any wrestling on the pre-show of WrestleMania. It'll just be their kind of talking head stuff, so that they can get, you know, somebody big out in front of the crowd for the first time. And they just announced yesterday as well that Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley are going to open the show. So outside of probably Hulk Hogan or Titus O'Neil, most likely Hulk Hogan being the first person to come out in front of the crowd, you'll probably
Tampa Bay,
have,
right?
Yep.
This is in Tampa Bay?
Raymond James Stadium. Yep.
Home of Tom Brady.
Yeah, home of Tom Brady. They got to get him there. I mean, they had Gronk signed last year. They got to have him in the crowd. I mean, they got to convince him somehow. At least Gronk. I don't know. Tom Brady would be like, I'm not going with those COVID infested people, even though
I don't know.
I don't believe it's true.
He was on that boat, like.
But that was with his teammates, right? Like,
yeah. But he passed it. Yeah. And
he doesn't want to be with the plebes, Dominic.
Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a hierarchy here. He's fine. He's fine without a mask. It's not that. It's just these dirty poor wrestling fans he doesn't want to be around. Yeah. So it should be good. They unveiled the set yesterday as well, which is of course a giant like pirate ship with big screens and stuff. And I saw somebody posting on Twitter that they're testing out like drones like they did with that Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime performance, where it's like arranging shapes in the sky and stuff, which seems kind of cool. So we'll see how it goes. Should be fun.
All right. So who's in the Hall of Fame this year? Anybody?
This year, it was the NWO and which all those guys had pretty much been inducted into the Hall of Fame already. Hulk Hogan, of course, is. Hall and Nash went in, I think, as part of DX.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eric Bischoff, the British Bulldog, JBL.
Oh.
The Bella Twins, Jushin Thunder Liger, who is a huge guy in New Japan. He was also big back in the day.
Yeah, I guess he got to retire. Yeah.
He was also big back in the day in WCW. William Shatner, Dominic, you may have heard of him.
William Shatner?
Yeah. He got inducted into the Celebrity Hall of Fame.
What did he do? I just don't remember him, what he did.
He showed up like one time. Apparently he hosted Raw in 2010, and he did do some narration for the Breaking Ground series, which was a thing that followed like some NXT superstars when the network first came on. Molly Holly, Kane was one of the big ones, and Rob Van Dam also, which was kind of a surprise.
Rob Van Dam,
he had actually been continuing to work in TNA recently, so. Yeah, the whole effing show, Rob Van Dam, Dominic. Also, Ozzy Osbourne was the other celebrity.
Oh.
And those were fun, though, because it was literally like, it almost seemed like they just bought a cameo of Ozzy Osbourne and was like, please say you appreciate the WWE and hi. Basically, like he came on, he was just like William Shatner. It was like, I'm recording this from my home. I'm not getting dressed up. I'm just in my like Affliction t-shirt, and I'll say thank you for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. So, yeah, it was all right.
All right. So I guess we can move on to what we've been watching. So I'll start it off until we talk about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. All right. So I've been watching some riff tracks. I've been watching some riff tracks of like older movies. Well, old new movies, not the super old movies. Like I did watch some riff tracks of Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring.
So crazy to think those are older movies now, Dominic.
Yeah.
Don't do this to us.
Just look at the movie. I'm like, man, I can see the age, but you know what? It's still a well done movie. It's like I appreciate it compared to watching the Hobbit trilogy and then watching this, like looking at the orcs and stuff. It's like, look at them, they were real people, and I was like, why couldn't? I mean, I guess now it's come to the point where it's cheaper to make them computer animated. I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I mean, it looked all right. They look good computer animated. I mean, they look like them themselves look good, but when they're fighting the dwarves and stuff, I mean, it doesn't look great. While you had real orcs, like real people in costumes fighting, it was fine. I felt like it was fine with real people. Like they did a good job. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because when listening to the behind the scenes, I remember at how they wanted to be like that. It's like, oh man, he's just like I said before, he's turned to George Lucas. Yeah. He just did it a lot faster. So yeah, the riff tracks is funny. I mean, it's funny, man, with that, them riffing on it. Also, the riff tracks of Star Wars, the first Star Wars, episode 4. Mm-hmm. So I watched that, and it's just funny to make fun of Luke being whiny. He's always whining all the time. And then they joke about how, hey, R2, he said, R2, he could just get away because he got his jetpack. So he can just fly away. He's like in the freak. Oh, man. And then what else? I think that's it. Like right now I'm going through Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter now. And it's almost like maybe I am going with theme. I just always want to do a different movie. And now I'm realizing like, oh, I'm just going through different series on the first movies on the riffs. The Harry Potter one is pretty funny seeing that now. Because that was, what was that, 2001? And 2001, 2002? Like, so.
It's crazy to think that far back.
I think it's 01. I think 'cause it came at the same time as Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring. It came out the same year. Because people was comparing that. Because I would always say, Lord of the Rings is better. This is all for little kids and shit like that. When I was a younger person. But anyway, seeing that movie, I was like, man, these kid actors, they weren't that great. They were.
How rude.
It's you can see the overreact acting and things of that nature, the reactions and stuff, and the way kids were acting. It was just, it was good for the times. Especially if you're a young person, it's great. But I can imagine the older person seeing this is like, yeah. And I think the reviews, I want to say they were great for the first one. I want to say they were bad either.
Yeah.
I think they were okay, but I think people recognized it wasn't great. I think the third one was when it got pretty good reviews. And that's the one that I think I really liked. I started really liking it. Was the third one. But like seeing the some of the CG, man, it looks pretty, like you can really tell. It's like, oh, this doesn't look that great. I mean, it looks like if it was like a regular TV show, I'll say, hey, it's all right. You know, in the movie, it's like, hey, you can really tell it's pretty bad. But it does give back some memories. Like, darn, man, look how young these people are. I say, they're all grown up. I say, darn, it makes me old because like, it doesn't seem that long ago. No. But it was long ago. Mm-hmm. It was. Jesus Christ.
Once you start putting numbers to it, you're like, ugh, it's been 20 years.
Good, yeah, because we do 20-year flashbacks. It's like, damn. It's been that long since this movie came out. This is crazy. It's been that, like, Lord of the Rings. Looking at that, I'm like, man, I don't see that long ago. And it's like, damn, it's been a very long time. Mm-hmm. Like, people are dead. People are dead. They did that movie. Yeah. Like the Solomon. He's the guy who plays Solomon. And
Christopher Lee.
And Count Dooku. He passed away. And then you have, well, of course, Dumbledore died while the movie was going on. Right. But he passed away. Yeah, but seeing him, when I saw him, I said, oh, man, that's the same Dumbledore. I said, yeah, that's right. He did pass away the first one. Mm-hmm. And I think, who else passed away? Snape? Did Snape pass away?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. And I don't think he was that old, right?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So, but I was just thinking about all the actors who made it big out of those actors. I mean, of course, the girl Hermione, and somewhat Harry the Potter.
Yeah, he blew up quickly and then kind of disappeared into Broadway stuff, and then now he's doing like weird I'm a dead kid movies. Well, that was years ago. But
oh no, he was doing a TV series too. I don't know if it's still around.
Oh yeah, he was on that TBS thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's still around though. But I didn't see Ron anywhere.
I see him show up in things, but he's never like the centerpiece of anything.
Yeah. And the person who played Malfoy, he was, last thing I saw him was in the Flash. He played a bad guy in the Flash.
I think he's like retired or something now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Forced retirement.
I made my money.
But yeah, so I've just been watching those movies. I mean, because I'm trying to think of a new show. I think Pennyworth is coming back, but I have to go back and watch the last few episodes of the previous season because I wasn't really watching it because oh my god, I had this thing going in the background the whole time, Daniel. I guess maybe it's not that it came through. Sorry, I accidentally had my TV on. I forgot to turn the sound off.
Oh, no. I haven't heard anything. I feel like I would have heard it if it was picking up, but
Oh, we'll see. But anyway,
yeah, got her in the background, obviously.
yeah.
I don't know why my mic's picking it up more than usual. It even seems like it's usually if she's not like right in front of the mic, it won't pick her up. But today she's like halfway across the room and still.
Yeah, Pennyworth. Because I didn't want to finish the last few episodes because I wasn't sure it was coming back. And now I just saw the second season. It's going to be starting. I mean, either it already started or it's coming soon. And I say, okay, let me go ahead and watch them. But I have been watching something, though. I was watching, the X-Files. Because I never watched the X-Files, really. I mean, my dad used to watch it all the time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, sometimes I'll sit down and just watch it with him, but I wasn't paying attention. Doesn't do like, I don't care. I was always frustrated. As a kid, I was frustrated with the X-Files because I will always want to see the monster or whatever they're looking for, and they always would never really show it. And they always do this, that's why I like Fringe. Fringe was something like, you see the shit. They show it to you.
Right.
But X-Files would do it like, something's happening. Ooh, you don't know. It'll disappear real quick. It went away real quick. You couldn't see it. They did show that little spaceship, though, at one point, which I thought was cool in the second episode. But the episode I'm watching now, they're in Baltimore. And they're showing the harbor and everything.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, yeah. And
recognize that place?
Also, it's an actor in there that you know him. I just don't know his name. He was like much younger in this. He was playing an FBI agent. And they make it like bolder, like everybody just call him a loony, or a spooky because he just believes in aliens and it's like, they're not real. Yeah, I'm kind of going to watch it because I'm just curious to see, like, why was this a big buzz? Just like Star Trek. See, I got into Star Trek years later, not while it was happening. It's still not holding a candle to Fringe to me. I like Fringe. I don't know. I like Fringe better. Anyway, what else? I guess that's it. We can talk about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, what you think about this episode?
So I thought this episode was really good. It definitely goes some places which it doesn't really address any of the stuff that I talked about last week. Kind of being overwhelmed with like a lot of things, but it also is going in a direction where I'm like, okay, you got me. I'm following along now. My complaints are quelled a little bit. I mean, some of the things have been not really resolved, but moved to the side, and we're kind of progressing forward with what seems like a pretty unified direction. So I'm digging it. How about you?
Yeah, I'm digging it. I mean, I enjoyed it. The thing I was mentioning, like how I felt like, spoilers, how I felt that the new Captain America was going to basically break bad, do something wrong, and it happened. And it happened in such a way that it's like, it's no coming back from. Like, it just makes it so much easy, like, oh yeah, we got to get the shit away from him. Like, I would prefer it to be more complicated. That, like, he was actually a good guy. And I was like, how you going to do this? Like, how you going to work it out? Like, a decent guy. I always say, like, you got to be super great or, I mean, like, he was a man. Put it like that. He's probably, maybe he was a little complicated, but not to the point where he actually killed somebody in public, like the way he did, and get all blood, all the Captain American shield all bloody.
He was roided up, though, Dominic. It was roid rage.
Well, Steve Rogers is always roided up, but
yes, but Steve Rogers was beyond human. He wasn't a man. he was what everybody wants in a good guy superhero. That's even what they say. Like the superhero serum or super soldier serum basically elevates what you are. And
yeah,
Steve
but the
Rogers,
black guy said he was a good guy.
Yeah, but he did some terrible things, Dominic.
Yeah, the current Captain America. Yeah.
Yeah, but he had to do some terrible things.
It was war, Daniel.
Steve Rogers never had to do it in war.
Yeah, he did. He killed those Nazis. Ain't like he killed them. I mean, he was supposed to. They were
Nazis, though, Dominic.
They were just the soldiers. Doesn't mean they believed in it. Hey, they just lived in the country, and then it's like, yeah, well, just gotta fight for them.
Gotta fight for the country.
They're just misunderstood. They're misunderstood. Sorry, shocking. No, but anyway.
This podcast is going in a bad direction now. Let's pivot.
It was a enjoyable episode. I enjoyed the action. Like the fights were great. I think the fights were done well. Like with the Wakanda woman. That was pretty good too.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually thought there wasn't going to be as much action in this episode because it was a while before they got to that fight with the Dora Milaje. And then, of course, after that was basically like nonstop.
I don't know who that is.
Episode.
What's the Dora Milaje? Is that terrorist group?
That's the Wakanda women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the royal guard of the Wakandan kingdom.
Oh, okay.
It was cool seeing that one woman just fucking flip up the shield with her foot and hold it real quick.
Oh, yeah. And how she just disarmed him. But I guess they fixed the arm, so.
Literally disarmed it.
Yeah.
She just like pressed the button on Bucky's arm and it fell off.
Yeah.
Such disrespect, funny. Dominic.
But I see how they trying to humanize the group that are fighting. But
Definitely.
still also showing that the way they're doing things, hey, you're like, why are you different? Now he was explaining how they were different too, Falcon, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm still thinking like, yes, there should be a way. Yeah. I mean, but he did say, hey, I believe what you're fighting for, but it has to be a better way of doing it. And yeah, because I feel like you blowing up a fucking place with people in it and shit dying, people dying. And I think no, that's not going to help your cause.
But it's like she said, Dominic, she's doing something.
Yeah,
nobody else is doing anything for these people, so she's doing something.
Yeah, she is. But she's also, I mean, I think it's also making people go against her too. Like, oh, we gotta have to stop her.
Yeah.
Because I could be like, hey, yes, these people, they need to do something, but I also don't want a whole bunch of innocent people to die, too.
Yeah. I was a little bit worried when Walker was shooting at her that they were just going to, like, kill her. And it was just going to be like, yeah, like, the idea is living on in Sam's mind, but she's dead now, so we got,
I was thinking like that, she's gonna die.
Cleaned up.
Yeah. So where is, I wonder what Gizemo is going to be doing.
Yeah, I wonder if he's even going to be anywhere for these last two episodes, or if maybe him and Sharon are going to meet up or something, or we still got to, well, we don't have to, but I'm interested to see if we find out who the power broker is. Maybe the power broker is Zemo the entire time. The power broker is the friends we made along the way.
Nah, it's I told you he's a shadow broker. It's Liara from Mass Effect.
Yep.
Yeah, but I wonder what the power broker is. I wonder who the power broker is. You think it's going to be somebody we know?
I feel like that's kind of the way this stuff goes with the MCU, is like much in the way that kind of everybody originated from Tony Stark. I feel like you got to loop the stuff back in enough, like, just because of how much they've been playing them up, but how little we know about them. I feel like you finding out the power broker is just some person that you've never seen before is going to be unsatisfying in a way that they wouldn't be content with.
Because it's almost like when something like that, they will show us the power broker already. Then if it's somebody we didn't know. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
But then it's still a mystery to them.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You're like, oh, it's that guy, and then when they run across them and they don't realize it the first time, but then you're like, oh man, they just ran into the shadow broker.
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming together.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
think the power broker is going to be
about
Steve Rogers. It's going to be him. That's what he ended up doing when he went back into the past.
Oh, shit.
He became the power broker, and
that's why Sharon's working with him.
Yeah. This is the best way to control things.
Trying to tell me that Steve's getting his hands dirty now too, huh?
Yep.
I don't believe it, Dominic. I don't believe it.
All right. So, anything else you want to say on it?
Nah, just one more, Dominic, and I don't know if 2 episodes are going to satisfy me.
Oh, so it's only
But they
6
did, did you?
episodes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's only 6 episodes. Did you see the Loki trailer? There's a new one out there.
I want to say I did. Yeah, I did see it. That's right. I forgot about it. Yeah.
I mean, it seems cool. I'm excited for that show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that seems
we got a little bit
cool.
of time.
When does that come
comes
out?
Is that June? Let's see. Loki release date. Yeah, June 11th.
Oh, okay.
So there's gonna be some downtime.
When's Black Widow coming out?
Black Widow is July 9th now.
Oh, darn! So we'll have Loki before that. And these shows were all supposed to be after that.
Yeah, that's kind of the crazy thing, right? Is like I wonder if there was originally anything in these shows that was somehow supposed to be tied to that. Like maybe the shadow
broker,
the power broker is somebody that's in Black Widow.
Darren, you got me saying it.
You got me saying it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm blaming you.
You started all this. You and your damn Mass Effect addiction.
There's gonna be with some Russian dude that was in the movie. It's like, so now it's gonna be reversed. It's gonna be like, he's a shadow broker.
Yep. Exactly.
I think the power broker. The power broker. All right. So what was I about to say? Yeah, the Loki does look good. That trailer looks pretty good. So I guess we can move on to what we've been playing. So you can go.
Yeah, I've just been playing more of Murder with Numbers. I finally got through all the memories that I was doing, and now to unlock any more, I need to keep going through the story. So I started back into that a little bit, but not really much more to say about that. For some of those harder memories that I was getting into, I was starting to use some of the stuff that they give you. There's a hint system where if you push like L or R, it'll highlight lines that maybe are things that you can kind of figure out based on what you have filled in right now. Mm-hmm. And then there's also just the ability to basically check what you've done so far, like check your work. So if there's anything... But I feel like I'm cheating myself a little bit if I do the check my work, because basically it's either on or it's off, or it's filled in or it's not, right? So if I have it filled in currently and it tells me I'm wrong, then I know it's supposed to be blank. And if it's blank and it tells me I'm wrong, I know I need to fill it in. So I feel like I'm cheating myself a little bit out of the puzzle aspect of it. If I use that, so I've tried to avoid that for the most part. I've used it like once or twice at this point. But I'm glad that those are there in case you do need a little assistance, or at least push in the right direction of solving some of those puzzles. Because I've definitely found ones already, and I'm not even into like the high tier things yet that are racking my brain a little more than I would have expected with the tier that we're at right now. So yeah, it's a good game. So what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right. So what I've been playing? I've been playing that new Outriders. I finally got my hands on it, and I played with a friend on my friends list, and
You were playing with the lawyer, Dominic. Say it.
No, it wasn't him.
It
wasn't him.
You were freaking farming achievement points with him.
I don't think he's played it. At least I didn't see him playing it. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, you know what?
He saw there weren't any easy achievement points.
Me and my friend must have really.
Did you shake him?
Yeah, he must have did something to him, because he's not really playing a lot on games. I see him playing Overwatch, but every time I look on my friends list, he's watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or something.
You see what happened, Dominic, was he had a streak going, and he was like, as long as I'm number one on my leaderboard every month, I'm just going to keep playing games and keep playing games. And then you guys beat him.
Yeah, we broke him.
And now he's just a husk of his former self now.
It's like, I'm going to see like one day, man, probably maybe this weekend. Like this weekend, he'll have like 5,000 points or something. It's so crazy.
He's gonna be like, not this month. Yeah. No.
Cause that's why I haven't really played with under my friend's name this month. Yeah, he has like almost 500, but I haven't touched it because he's so far ahead of him. Actually, there is somebody on my friends list that's ahead of my friend, and I think it's on his friends list too. But that guy, he's not playing for achievements. He's just playing. So, but I don't really care. I don't care about beating him. I just want to beat the lawyer. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, if he ain't doing nothing this month, then I'm not going to do nothing. So, but Outriders. So I've been playing that. I played with somebody on my friends list, and he went to my level because he was already higher level. I think he said he went to his other character so he could be closer to my level. So I was like, damn, man, you were playing this game. And he does. He does. This is his game. I wish I could be that. I wish I could be that guy that could just focus on one game. But I can't. I just like playing multiple games. But I do enjoy playing this. This is definitely fun. I feel better going to this than going to Destiny right now. It's a lot more focus, and it's a better single-player experience than Destiny or Division. Mm-hmm. Like, they made this a game that it feels like, hey, it's cool playing with people, but you can also play by yourself. And this is the kind of game I want. I say, good. This is great. So we played with him through the first mission. Well, my first big mission anyway. And you also have little side missions you can do there too. But I think we just went through the big one to fight the big boss at the end, which was kicking our butt. After a while, I think it was really cheating, but we got through. But yeah, it has that Gears feel to it, also with the cover shooter aspect of it. And I like the powers because I think I'm a trickster. That's what he said I was, because I didn't even look up the name. And where I can warp too close to the enemy, and I also got it where I can put a force field around me, which will slow anybody who's within the force field will be really slow, so I can hurry up and shoot them. Or if they're shooting bullets, the bullets, when they come through the force field, they come super slow. And I can just move out the way. It looks so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I have ability where I can kind of slice with a force field. And it makes them really vulnerable. Like, you'll see the skeletons or something. Like, they'll lose their skin, and then if I shoot them, they just die. Or if it's a stronger enemy, I take a lot of health. I can easily take a lot of health from them. They don't just die instantly, though. I did unlock a new ability, which I think it makes my bullets stronger for a period of time. I just unlocked that when I leveled up. But yeah, it is fun, like the gameplay wise, and the story is all right. I mean, when I actually listened to it, because the guy wanted to skip, the guy who I was with, so I missed that stuff. But when I was playing by myself, I was listening to the story, and yeah, it's interesting. I might have mentioned it before on the beta I played, but people have left Earth because Earth was dying because of war, famine, everything, all resources was being gone. So they had these ship to take them away to find a new planet. And we thought we found it. But unfortunately, something was wrong with the planet, and it had like some type of, I don't know, organism that were attached to you. It killed people, but it also made them change them. So we were saying, like, we can't be here. But one of the corporation guys was like, nah, we can stay here. We can afford to go somewhere else. So we'll just contain you. Kill them for them to contaminate us. Then we fought back. Then I got hurt. The lady stuck me in a pod. I woke up like years later, like so many years later. So now I'm here where everybody's been here for a while, and there's a war going on for resources, and now you're in the middle of this. So you're fighting for one side of the faction, the side where you met the woman that helped you. Well, she was a young woman then when she helped you. Now she's an old lady. Definitely older woman, because she's gray. She has gray hair and everything. But so you're on her side, and you're helping doing missions for her, and you changed because you got about the anomaly or whatever changed you to have powers. And other people do too. There's enemies you fight that have powers that can do stuff because they were affected. So yeah, that's how the way your story goes with that. But it's a lot of killing, and what I mean that is that, of course, there's a lot of killing. You're fighting. I'm talking about like in the cutscenes. Like, I can't get attached to anybody. It seems like everybody just dies. Like, they die or do something that gets them killed. Like, I went to save a guy because he was trapped. And he was trapped with the enemy. And, like, the enemy had came out first. So I was, like, putting a gun to him. He said, oh, don't shoot. I said, look, like, I'm not trying to fight right now. And because I guess they were helping each other. Those guys must have been helping each other while they were stuck. And then it's like, oh, thank you. And then he said, and then when the guy said, I'm going to go get my other friends, the guy who I was with to help, he shot that guy. He just shot that guy and threw a bomb in there to kill everybody. He said,
good Lord.
I was like, Jesus, man, what are you doing? He said, what, you think we're going to just hug each other and say kumbaya, something like that? And then somebody just shot him. Like somebody sniped him. Killed that guy. It was just like, oh. Damn. Like, and then my character was like, well, what was even the point of this? Like, why did this? Like, and I'm just thinking too, like, what the hell you did? It's like, what was the point? You didn't even save anybody. You just went there to get, and everybody just dies. And there's another cutscene where the person just gets sniped. Who I thought this lady, I was like, oh, she's gonna probably be around for a bit. I mean, unless she got shot in the neck, so unless it comes, maybe she does survive, and maybe she just said she can't talk anymore. I don't know.
Come back with a voice box.
Yeah, if they can do that, but I don't know. I was like, damn, man, I thought she was gonna be like a character or something. She just dies. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, it's just like, they make it like, man, this is like Mad Max shit and something like that, man. Like, this just, like, everybody's for themselves, basically. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and like a vendor. At the beginning, you go into this vendor and say, oh, I got some good items for you. I said, oh, okay. And then I'm going back. Some guy comes and shoot the man before he can show me what the good items were. And then, of course, and then I ask, so why'd you do this? Oh, I've been told to do this by blah, blah, blah. And then I shoot him and say, darn. And then I think I went after the guy that hired the guy to shoot him. Yeah, that's what I did. But I was like, well, I couldn't get the new items. That guy just ends up dead. And I'm mad they gave me a profile of him too, like in your journal or something. Like, I barely know that guy. I don't even care about him anymore. I didn't know him long enough to care about him. Anyway, it's a cool game. I think you should try it out. You can try it out on, well, it's free on Game Pass. Well, free-ish, I guess. All right, so I played
prepaid for.
Yes. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Play some more of that. I am finally at the gates of Wall Market. Oh, what am I saying? In my mouth. But yes, I'm finally at the gates of Wall Market, so I'm ready to dress as a woman. I didn't go inside yet. That's where I saved. I saved right at that point. So, but I played up to that point. This game, yeah, it really just, not drag out's not the right word, because it doesn't really, it's not boring or anything. But they just made this section so long by adding so many things in here. Like, well, the side quests, I would say the side quests aren't great. They are just there to, to spend some time, just to make the game a little longer. I mean, they're not bad, but they're nothing. Like, it's most of the things is like, hey, there's something wrong, a monster somewhere. You go there, kill the monster, and then there.
It's nothing of substance like a Witcher or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, the ones with the kids are sort of cute, but I mean, it's not something great or anything. What else have I done? Oh yeah, going to Aerith, or Ares as I call her, because that's what I saw in the first game. Mm-hmm. Ares is home. Actually, I think they call her Ares too. They call her Aerith in Kingdom Hearts. I don't know why, but a TH. I don't know why they said that.
It was a Japanese thing. I think that's the original game was Ares for us and Aerith for her, or for Japan, and it kind of melded at some point.
So when I go into our place, it looks so nice. Like, now you see it in 3D, and I'm thinking, like, how did her mother afford this place? This had to cost a lot, because this is in the slums, but this is like a nice location in the slums. You got like a waterfall, flowers
Yeah.
and everything. Was it like, did she get it when it was like, it maybe looked crappy and then it just looked nice later on? Like, how did she, was she like, maybe her family, like, donate, like they, not say donate, but they just bring it down to her. Like it came down, she just inherited it, I guess I should say. And maybe they were like one of the first people in Midgard. Maybe they had it. Cause I'm like, compared to the other people who lived like just down the road, I guess, they living great over here. That's like, Jesus. That's like, man, this is like, and I'm just thinking like, I'm just surprised like nobody just come here and be like, hey, I just want to take over, man. It's just too nice over here for y'all. It's just too. But yeah, that looks cool. I mean, it's cool to see these environments in 3D now. These environments, what I thought what they would look like. So, but you know what? I said like the dialogue is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I take that back. I take it back. It's not great, man. I was going to say the dialogue ain't great. I mean, it's silly. I mean, I can deal with it. But it's pretty silly. It's pretty silly how they talk. And just how Cloud is just so, like, up his own ass, I mean, I mean, he's just so, like, when everybody's just trying to have fun and say, hey, this is cool. He's like, blah, blah. Like, he's just so stuffy.
I'm a
He's like,
soldier.
Yeah. And, like, she was trying to give him a high five, and he just, he didn't react, like, just ignore her. Which I would rather for him to do that. When Ares like, hey, high five. And then he just looked at her like he was confused. Like, he was looking at his hands and looking at her like he didn't understand. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you, stupid?
Born in a test tube, Dominic. Sephiroth didn't do high fives.
But wait a minute, I thought he was changed because he was Tifa's friend, right?
I honestly don't remember how any of that went. Wasn't it like that was really Zach?
No, I know. Zach. No, Zach was the first class soldier. Yes, that was really him. But I think he still went. He still was a soldier, but he just was the lower class one. He wasn't first class. Okay. He was just a regular soldier. So it was
really he was a regular kid. And then he joined Soldier, and then he kind of took on Zach's identity as like a top class.
I think after he got hurt, after fighting Sephiroth when he went back to his hometown, they did that shit to him and messed him up. And I think Zach broke him out. I think something like that. They escaped together, and then I think
time for a Crisis Core remaster, Dominic.
Yeah. Which I never played. I never played Crisis Core.
I mean,
by the time I got to the chance I wanted to play it, that's when I had accidentally broke my PSP. I sat on it. Except I was in my back pocket. I remember that day in Target. It was a sad day. It's a sad day because I did it at lunchtime and I just could not going through that rest of the day. So I go through the rest of the day knowing I broke my PSP. Son of a bitch. And I bought it there for music because I had my MP3 player. I say, I'll use this for my MP3 player. Now I regret it, Daniel. I should have just waited to buy me a new MP3 player. All right, anyway. Yeah, so Final Fantasy 7. I mean, I'm still enjoying it, though. I still enjoyed it. I'm curious to see how this whole me dressed as a woman thing goes. Like, this will be interesting. All right. So what else did I play? Oh, yes. There was a beta for Knockout or Alpha or whatever it is of Knockout. That's what it's called. The
Knockout City.
Knockout City. That's what it was. I knew there was something else to it. The dodgeball like action game, multiplayer game, where you throw balls at people and try to get them out. So I played that. Did you play any of it? You didn't play any of it, did you?
I played a very little bit of it. When you told me about it, I downloaded it, and then I started out in like the area before you play against people, like I guess just like the tutorial area.
Yeah.
And then I had to do something for my daughter, and then I forgot about it until we were over my in-laws for Easter dinner, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit, that's right, Easter. Yeah, how was your Easter?
Good.
It was good.
Yeah,
okay.
Just went over in-laws, had dinner. Good food.
Oh, okay.
How about yours?
Oh, I don't do anything for Easter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we gave my daughter an Easter basket, and she was excited about that. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of things Easter, directly related that she can have. Like, we gave her an Easter bunny, but like jelly beans, she's not quite advanced enough to be eating those yet, because they don't really break down in the way that a lot of other things
No,
do.
like Jesus stuffed animal or something like that? No Jesus stuffed toy?
No Jesus stuff toy.
Oh, okay.
She got some transforming trucks that aren't
Oh,
transformers.
I know what I
They're
did for
from, like,
Easter. That's right.
Target one spot.
Made my family watch the South Park Easter special.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one where they
Nice.
had, where they found out that the Pope was really supposed to be a rabbit.
Mm.
And that's how the rabbit, that's why you see rabbits in Easter. Because Stan was asking a question, like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why do we have rabbits and eggs? And this is about Jesus. Like, what is this all about?
Yeah.
And you found out that actually St. Peter was a rabbit. Peter Rabbit. And he was supposed to be the first Pope. The Pope was supposed to be a rabbit. And that's why because look, the hat doesn't, look at that Pope's hat. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense for a rabbit. For the rabbit ears.
Hide the ears, yep.
Oh, man, that was funny, man. And also Jesus coming back and saving the day. That was a good episode. All right. So, the knockout. So I actually played some multiplayer against people. And I recorded some, I believe. Yeah, I recorded some. So I'll probably put some up for, this podcast. And I did okay. First, I was really sucking. Our team just got beat up by this other team. It looked like they've been playing for a bit, at least the guys on the team, because they're levels. But the second game, I did a whole lot better. And, you got to catch the ball. You have a chance to catch the balls, too, so you don't get hit with them. I was doing that, and people were definitely doing that against when I tried to throw the balls at them. But then you have special balls, like ones that explode, that you have to watch out. You don't want to hold on too long. Or even catching it, if you catch it, you might want to just throw it away. Then, what was another special ball? I forget the other one. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, it seemed like a nice, fun game just to jump in. Like, to jump in and just play. Like, I can see that more enjoyable than the other one, Rocket Arena. Like,
I was going to say, how do you think it compares to that?
Yeah, compared to that, I think, like, 3-on-3, it keeps it simple. It's a whole lot simpler. So it keeps it, and you could just, hurry up and jump in and shoot around, and hopefully you have to wait too long for matches or something. I don't know. I still feel like playing this game, like, I don't know. What's the price tag supposed to be? I felt like, man, this game shouldn't cost much. It really shouldn't cost much. I mean, I feel like there's probably microtransactions and stuff in this game, definitely. And that no more than $15 really for this game. Like, I think 20 is a little asking for a little too much for this game, honestly. I mean, it's a nice little fun game, but I just think about the variety. Because I only can play this mode, so I don't know what other modes they're going to have. Like, so, I mean, I'm curious about the variety. But if this is basically the big mode, like, this is what it is, mainly people going to be playing, I don't know, like, putting a price tag on this. I almost feel like this could be free to play. I almost feel like this could be free to play. Or you better have a lot more to this game. Yeah, so just check out that video. I mean, when you check out the podcast, I'll have the recording up of me playing it. What else I played? I played some Calamity, some more Hyrule, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, and what was that in? Goron City. So I got to play with the Goron. That was cool. Play with him. He can roll and bowl over people and shit like that. And also, it's cool playing with the what's those giant robot things in Breath of the Wild called?
The Guardians?
Yes. You can play as the Guardians and use this,
cool.
like, rampaging through places and killing all those lizards and goblins or whatever. And like I was in the Guardian. I was in the Guardian for the Water People, the Zora, and the Goron. And shooting, like, using the powers and stuff like that. So that was cool, because I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do this in this game. And that was fun going through that. And what else have I played? I also played some Hades. So, some more Hades, still playing through that. Ain't really much to talk about on that game. I mean, it's still a lot more story. I wonder how many more times do I have to defeat Hades, just to, like, how much more of the story I have to progress. I'm wondering, because, I mean, I want to know how it ends, because I want to see too much, because I want to spoil, but it just...
How many times have you beaten it now? Do you remember?
No, I stopped counting. I mean, it tells you in the game, but I was just counting in my head. I know I beat it more than 5 times, so...
Okay. I feel like you're closing in on it. I want to say... I knew what the number was at a certain point. I remember people talking about it, but I can't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But I want to say it's not much higher than that.
But I want to still do some of those side stories, and I don't want to. I want to know. So, did you hear that if you beat the game, can you still keep playing it?
I want to say yes.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if they stopped it at that, even though I know there's story related stuff.
All right, so I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right,
and we're back. And then we're flashbacking 10 years to this week in 2011. And what do we have here? We have Anomaly, Warzone Earth. I don't know what that is. I probably shouldn't have said it. It's probably a strategy game. It's a PC game, so.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yep, definitely looks like a strategy game to me, Dominic.
Yeah, it does, and it got great reviews.
I feel like I remember when this came out on Xbox Live Arcade, it being like kind of a thing that people were talking about, but I don't remember ever playing it really.
It's an action strategy game, and very positive, man. People really liked it. You can get it for $9.99, or get the bundle with all the other Anomaly games.
That's just a deal right there,
for $30.10. I think it's what? How many of these in here? 5 games. Okay. But yeah, that came out. Also, you have Rabbids Travel in Time 3D. So the 3DS games of the Rabbids have come. Also, you have SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, so this is a different SpongeBob, I guess. He's not wearing square pants.
Like the Draw to Life one?
I guess so. I have no idea.
It's probably the bad SpongeBob, Dominic. I don't trust that guy.
Also, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory on the 3DS. Did you get this? Because you're a big Splinter Cell fan.
The 3DS one, actually, I did end up getting that and was severely disappointed because it was a full 3D Splinter Cell game on the 3DS.
Oh, it doesn't do well being full 3D.
No, I mean, we were fooling ourselves thinking that the 3DS was like a competent 3D playing system. It was pretty rough. I think it was okay, but it definitely wasn't as good as a Splinter Cell on, the PC or whatever.
Yeah, I think I was thinking like, hey, this is now they're upgraded from the DS. This is like the PSP. We can start playing games like that. Like they can be. I mean, some games try to do that, but I've never seen no really good game like that, like a 3D game. I mean, except for Zelda, but something that's not fast paced or doesn't resolve things that, like too much.
Yeah,
or like a lot of action. So I mean, though Splinter Cell does it because you're supposed to be stealthy, but you just say it just didn't really still work for that space. And plus,
I feel like it didn't allow you to affect lights and stuff, and that was a large portion.
Oh yeah, I
what
can
Splinter
imagine.
Cell did.
I can imagine like the lighting not being all that great. But how about the 3D? How did you even do 3D for that?
I don't even remember that portion of it, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think now if I bought that game or if I rented it from like a Games and Flicks or a GameFly or whatever.
I don't think Games and Flicks
She
existed.
was clearly
10
not
years
happy
ago.
with that game.
Yeah. I think Netflix was out of business 10 years ago.
Okay, we'll say GameFly then, maybe.
All right.
I'll have to check my drawer. Those are the games that actually do have somewhat in order and could find relatively quickly.
All right, we'll stop talk about Splinter Cell then, so she can calm down. All right, so let's talk about Limbo. I see how she feels about Limbo. Limbo was released.
She better like it a lot because it's a great game.
Yeah, 10 years ago from the 360. That was one of the Xbox Live Arcade summer games. Not summer games. Actually, no, it wasn't because this is springtime. I thought it was. Oh well, but it was. I think it was promoted like a big game.
Yeah,
though.
I feel like it was part of some promotion they had.
But yeah, so you played this game and you completed this game, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you talk about it.
Yeah, it's relatively short. It's an awesome game. Now having played, what's the new one
Inside?
called? Yeah, now having played Inside, it doesn't quite live up to that, but you definitely see some of the DNA from Limbo in Inside. Inside just developed on that concept so much, which made it, even more incredible. But Limbo was still very awesome for what it was doing. It was very simplistic in its platforming and its puzzles, its platform puzzler kind of thing. And the graphics were an interesting take that you didn't really see much. It was that very silhouetted look. All around, I think it's a really cool game.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. It's a game I always said, like, you know what? Since I played Inside and beaten that, I want to go back to play Limbo. I just never just got around. It's just so many games. I probably will never get around to it, but it is a game that I wish I did try at the time. I wish I would have gave it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you get this game on 360 or did you have it on PC or your PS Vita or something?
I want to say it was 360.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. I think I bought it like right around the time that it came out too. I want to say maybe I might have fell away from it initially and then came back to it a little bit later, but I feel like I did get that on the 360 when it first came out.
Maybe you did, because when I look at the library, I think it became a free game, but I think I felt like you had it before it was a free game.
Yeah.
All right. So that is it for 10 years ago. So, yeah, it wasn't really that many big games that came out this week, even for 2000, as we go back 20 years to 2001, I mean. So, you have Snoopy Tennis came out for the Game Boy
Now
Color.
we're talking.
So, you played this?
No, probably not.
No, oh, God. You talk about that, we're talking. This probably, I want to know, like, hey, was this better than Mario Tennis?
It's better than Mario Tennis. Yeah.
Man,
only if it had RPG elements, Dominic. Only if it had RPG elements.
So, I wonder, like, you play as Charlie Brown, do you just constantly get hit in the ball in the face or something? Like, this bad things just happen to you.
Hey, this isn't Peanuts tennis, Dominic. This is Snoopy tennis. You play as Snoopy.
You just play as Snoopy?
That's it. That's the only person you can play as.
Oh, okay. That would suck if that was the case. You at least play with, what's his name, Woodstock?
Yep. Yeah, Woodstock.
Yeah.
Well, according to, I don't know, because this is kind of weirdly broken up. Like on Wikipedia, they have Snoopy Tennis, but then underneath that is external links, Peanuts by Schultz, characters. And they list all the characters, but I don't think that's for the game. I think that's just for Peanuts. So I'm not sure who you play as if you have the ability to play as, the other characters. You would hope so.
You play as a Red Baron.
Yes, you can play Snoopy, the old Snoopy with the broken down mustache, and then the Red Baron.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got here? We got Dr. Mario 64 was released. And, shucks, that's another look of the last 64 games. Yeah. And you have...
That seems so late.
Yeah. So Kirby Tilt and Tumble came out for the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
And You never played this one, right? I mean,
it was one I always wanted to, but since most of my game playing was on an emulator for the stuff that I couldn't afford when I was a child, didn't really work that way because this actually had the like physical accelerometer in the cartridge to move it around and stuff.
Yeah, the Dr. Mario 64. Yeah, that does feel late because that seems like something like that should have been in the middle of the cycle of the 64.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes sense now why when we were talking about the magazines, I was like, I didn't even realize there was a Dr. Mario on the 64 because if you came out after Conquer, then yeah, you're in real rough shape.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't. Yeah, that game should have came out like Spy. And you know what, Daniel? You know the way Nintendo be always delaying. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. It just kept getting delayed. All right. So yeah, that's it for this short flashback segment. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Let's get into the gaming news. So what we got, Dad?
All right, Dominic. The legend is here. Mass Effect Legendary Edition has gone gold. And as we've seen with Cyberpunk, going gold always means that the game is done and ready to ship in a complete and beautiful state.
Yes.
What do you think?
It's going to be probably like a 20 gig patch when we put the game in.
Day zero patch.
Do you think it's going to be a day zero patch?
Yes, only because every game requires a patch now.
Yo,
like
I
literally
just had
every
to
fucking
do
game.
a 30 gig patch for NBA 2K. And when I looked at the notes to see what it was, so I can know, like, oh, maybe I get some new courts. No, this is all stuff for the online service.
Bug fix.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So maybe it's a couple bug fixes. But I'm like, you sons
They
of
added
bitches.
60 million new cards.
I'm like, this is stuff I don't even need. 30 fucking gigs. You just gave me another game. Yeah. You literally gave me another game. Anyway.
It's getting so absurd. I mean, there was talk, we didn't really talk about it because it's not really a news article, but like, it's now at a point where Call of Duty Warzone wouldn't fit on a 500 gig PlayStation model. So like, if I had never upgraded my hard drive in my PlayStation and I was playing Call of Duty Warzone, I wouldn't be able to anymore. Like, that's so absurd.
Good God. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, yes, the Legendary Edition going gold, that's great. Now, I know we talked about this, but I don't remember. So we got the Legendary Edition, which is the basic edition, basically, the base edition of this particular game. What is the other called Collector's Edition? Like Mass Effect Legendary Edition's Collector's or something?
It's called the Shepherd's Herd Edition.
No, yeah.
Nah.
I'm just curious. I forgot what the Collector's Edition is supposed to come with. It's supposed to come with a helmet or a spaceship model. I don't know.
So.
Normandy.
Spaceship model sounds right. Let's say Special Edition May 14th.
Oh, so they come out 10 days after May the 4th. They didn't want to.
Yep, they're afraid, Dominic. They're afraid. Hey, look at that. It's only $53.99 with EA Play. I don't know. I'm not actually seeing a special edition here. Maybe I'm just not typing in the right thing. It feels like they're missing out on money if they're not making a collector's edition of this.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a game that sort of warrants it. I mean, you look at some of these games that it's the first time they're coming out and they come out with fucking busts and statues of characters you've never even heard of. And
I'm thinking about the Anthem.
Here's a game
Anthem
that they absolutely could have. Exactly.
Or the what's the other one? Evolve.
Yeah.
It probably was a monster. Exactly, it probably was a monster or something. Statue.
Yeah, it was like the main monster. Collector's Edition includes. I'm seeing. Oh, it's one of those. Well, I'm seeing a post about basically we'll say collector's edition, but not really because it doesn't include the game, but it includes a steelbook and the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
the N7 cash helmet.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's a thing that you can buy for $150, but it doesn't actually.
Oh, it's like a bank?
Games.
Like a piggy bank?
I guess you can put your head in it.
Oh, you said cash helmet. I was thinking cash.
Oh, sorry. Cash. It's Mass Effect Legendary Cache, as in CACHE, like weapons cache, and it comes with key art, steelbook, replica helmet, canvas art print, and morality spinner.
My head
pin.
probably can't fit.
Also,
in that
N7 acceptance letter, Dominic, so you can get that framed and say, "I was one of them. I did the space crimes." I don't know that you can buy that anymore because it seems sold out.
All right. So what else we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. We've also got Neo, The World Ends With You, which is the sequel to The World Ends With You, the popular... That was a DS game, right?
Yeah.
Not 3DS?
Yes, that was DS.
Yeah. DS game. That's launching July 27th. We knew it was coming to the Switch and the PlayStation 4, but it is also coming to the PC, courtesy of Epic. They are getting their hands on all this Square Enix goodness.
Exactly. They got the Kingdom Hearts, and then they got this.
Locking it up.
They should. So. They need to get the first one. I'm not going to understand this confusing story.
I mean, you'll never understand this confusing story. Yeah, because there is a Switch version of that, and there's phone versions of that, but I'm not sure that it ever released on the PC. So they got to lock that in.
Let's get the emulator game of it. I guess just get the ROM.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, Dominic, and some other news. We got a new Battle Royale game in the footsteps of Tetris 99 and Mario 35. After Mario's death, we had to have a replacement. And it is Pac-Man 99. It is now out on the Nintendo Online service. And it's also got some single-player stuff that you can purchase, which will be $15. And that comes with, like, skins, Galaga and Dig Dug and all sorts of different guys, which looks kind of cool. But this is a neat one. It seems like kind of what you would expect. You versus 98 other players, and you eat ghosts, and as you eat ghosts they go to other players' screens and whatnot. It looks neat.
Yeah,
so
I want
to give it a try.
Yeah, definitely. I want to give this a try too. I like Pac-Man. Yeah. There's no Miss Pac-Man. They hate women, huh?
I feel like there's got to be a Miss Pac-Woman skin, right? Like, also, is it weird that it's Miss Pac-Man?
I'm about to say.
I guess Pac-Man is his last name, so I guess it's Pac-Man.
I'm about to say Pac-Woman. I ain't understand I ain't understand those words, Daniel.
I don't even know what you mean. How dare you?
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about? It's Pac-Woman. Get the hell out of here.
But it's also not Mrs. Pac-Man, right? It's just Miss Pac-Man. So it's like his mother or his sister.
No,
not his wife.
I think she just one-on-ones, it's like Miss M.I. I think it was M.S. It wasn't M.I.S.S. Ms. It's not Ms. Pac-Man.
I don't even know what relationship are you when it's M.I.S.S.? I don't even.
Oh, that's
above my.
That is like you're not married.
Okay, I thought that's what MS is.
No,
and then MRS is.
MS is. I think that's. You don't know.
Okay.
You don't want people to know. Like they did something. Like you don't know. Because
they committed a crime.
I remember looking this up. I mean, I remember being taught this in school, but I remember looking it up because I didn't know you pronounced it Ms. I thought it was just Miss, and you just spelled it different that you could never tell. But somebody said Miss and say Ms. My name is Ms. I said Jesus. Okay. She was angry. She was mad. You were saying that.
Oh my. Okay.
Now you got me looking it up now.
Need to educate myself. Exactly. Clearly, I need to educate myself.
Miss, and Mrs. Okay, what's the difference? Okay, you will use Ms. M-I-S-S, along with an unmarried female's last name.
Okay.
You will lose the MS one. What if you don't know whether someone is married or not? If you don't know they're married, so I guess we don't know that she's married. Maybe at the time of this game, she was not married. And we didn't know. We didn't know. It was like, there's a Miss one, but we don't know who she is. When a Hoichi
we don't want to
merger.
make assumptions.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
So that's what it was.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I did, like you said, got taught it in school at some point and just it never was that relevant. So, that's...
All right, so what other news we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic, so we got Deathloop. It's been delayed again until September 14th. Now, I feel like it was just yesterday that we were talking about this game getting delayed to May 21st.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the news. It looks like it was around November, which has been several months, but it really feels like it was just the other day that we were talking about this.
And they just had what was it? Game Informer had like a cover. Yeah, the cover story was Deathloop. So I'm thinking like it's coming soon. And now we wait till September 14th. Like, is this the new Cyberpunk? Like, just like...
Don't say that, Dominic. Don't say that.
Nah, they're doing... I don't think it'll
I feel
be
like
that
this
much
game
buggy.
isn't quite as ambitious as Cyberpunk.
It won't have that. But I'm just thinking, like, it's going to take longer for me to play it. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Because I went on Game Pass, where I don't have to pay for it to play it.
Yep. That's a lot of the comments I'm seeing are like, oh, man, that just means I have to wait even further after a year to play it on the Xbox.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with Final Fantasy VII Remake, man. Like, are they really going to just stay exclusive to PlayStation? That's... Damn.
Yeah, it's weird that
not even
we
coming
are
to PC.
where we are and we haven't heard any talk of it coming to the PC or the Xbox.
Yeah.
Or the Switch.
Yeah, shut up. Can't give a damn Switch.
Hey, they could do game streaming to the Switch.
Oh, yeah, I guess they could
They'll
do
do
that.
everything
Yeah,
else.
they could do that. Or they could make, like, the phone version, like Final Fantasy 15. And with the old chibi
I mean, they are
ones.
doing that with that other Final Fantasy 7 thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
They're doing, yeah. It's kind of similar.
I mean, you get all these Square Enix games on Xbox Game Pass, but it's like, come on. Is Final Fantasy 7 Remake coming? Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I mean, the way things are looking right now, that could be an Epic Store exclusive, right? Like,
exactly.
At the very least.
And that one, yeah.
I would just wonder if anything, if the work was halted on it or slowed extremely because of the, pandemic stuff.
Yeah, maybe they went. Yeah,
And they
that's what I
really
hope
were
for.
intending to release it a year, well, not release it, but at least announce it a year after it came out. And then it, everything fell apart. And they were like, we're not going to be able to put this out anytime soon. Let's keep working on this DLC and we can talk about that. And when we get closer to release, we can talk about the Xbox or PC versions or something like that,
Yeah. So what else we got, man?
All right, in some other news, Dominic, we got PlayStation stepping it up a little bit, bringing some new games to PlayStation Now, maybe making that a service that can actually compete with Game Pass. We got Marvel's Avengers, Dominic.
Oh,
That's
nice.
a top-tier game.
When that Spider-Man
And
coming?
Borderlands 3.
Oh, Borderlands 3. That's nice, too.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 feels like a game that has not been out that long. Like, oh, look, they got a new title, but also, like, that game's been out for a while now.
Yeah, it actually came out 2 years ago, not last year. And I was thinking, like, last year. I was like, oh, no, it's 2 years ago. And then I just don't hear nothing about the DLC, even though they had DLC. I didn't buy it. I really was made for a real cheap, really cheap to me to even put my hands on it. Because I was so disappointed with Borderlands 3. It wasn't a huge upgrade from 2 to me. Like, I enjoyed playing 2 more. 3 may have some better things, but it wasn't like a huge upgrade. It just wasn't doing enough to really make it like, yeah, this is like a third one. It feels extra, and the story wasn't great. I mean, look, Borderlands is not like great stories. 2 was a good enough story, though. It was a story that I could follow, and I didn't mind. I wanted to see how it goes. 3, it's just I didn't. It wasn't good. It just wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't. Was it bad? It wasn't like it was horrible, but it wasn't really good. Like it didn't keep my interest. Yeah, it was just a disappointment, and it could be just a different place also in my life that I'm not. I mean, either me and my friend both got the game. We did play together. It's just It's not the same with 2. I don't know what it was missing. I mean, maybe I needed more. Need something more to 3 to really differentiate yourself. Like it just didn't. But back to the stuff coming on PlayStation Now, like this Avengers and Borderlands 3. For anybody that's PlayStation Now, yeah, that's pretty good. Or if you want to get into it, you have these games that you can try out if you didn't try them out already. I mean, when I go to PlayStation Now, I mean, I had it briefly for free trial. They have a lot of games up there. That's not the problem. It was just they were older games, and I mean, plus I already had Game Pass at the time too, so it was like Game Pass is sometimes getting games day and date, so that's cool. Like, if you don't have an Xbox, I think PlayStation Now is all right. I think that is all right service. But if you have an Xbox and a PlayStation, PlayStation Now is not better than Game Pass. Like, I will just choose Game Pass. Because not only is it you can play it on the Xbox, you can play it on the PC or your phone through the cloud. Also, some of these games on the phone. And eventually it's going to come on the cloud on the PC too. That's supposed to be coming sometime. And then you have EA Play also now. And then now you have the Bethesda games on here. So, and then like I said before, the day and date, some games are day and date. They're new. They're brand new. So you can join in.
That's big.
So it's, like if you don't have an Xbox, then I would, like if I just had a PS4, I probably would get PlayStation Now. I think it was $19.99 a month, or not? Oh no, or it went down to $9.99 a month. I forget what it was. Because I thought $19.99 was the original price. What was the original price if it wasn't $19.99 a month? That's what I'm saying. Because I thought that was the original price, and it went down to $9.99.
Yeah, it's $9.99 a month now.
Yeah, because I think it was $19.99, and I was thinking like that's a little steep. $9.99 a month. Yeah, that's a cool library. You can play some old PlayStation 2 games up there too. And they also stream, and this ain't just exclusive to phones, I mean, I don't even know if it is on phones, PlayStation Now. But you can, I mean, it's on PC and PlayStation 4, and some games can stream, so you don't have to download them if you don't mind. I know some people don't like lagging, but I think some games you have to stream. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Some games.
Yeah, the older ones, I believe, like the PlayStation 2 classics and stuff.
So, I mean, if you're not playing the fighting games, I don't think it's that bad. I think I was playing God of War for the PS that came on the PSP. Well, technically it was the God of War came on PS3, but it was like the collection or whatever. And I was playing that, and it ran fine. It ran fine for me. So, look, there's some appeal there. There's some appeal to that. So I'm not really griping on PlayStation Now. It's just that I think if you have both systems, or if you already just have an Xbox, and you, like, look at the PlayStation Now, it's not making you like, oh, yeah, man, I wish I had that service. I wouldn't. You're not missing out. Like, you're not missing out on a PlayStation Now if you have just an Xbox. And if you have both, I would choose Game Pass. If I had, like, both systems, Game Pass seems like the one to choose, definitely, because you're going to get those Xbox exclusives. You're going to get some third-party games coming on day and day.
You're going to get MLB The Show instead of PlayStation users.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox is making good deals. It's like, it's almost great that Xbox didn't do as well last generation. It's just where we can get deals like this.
Absolutely, yeah. Once these guys start to realize that they've actually got competition, that's when they start actually working on stuff.
Yeah, because PlayStation did that with the PS Plus. Exactly. They started with the free games. They're the ones who started doing that, and because they wanted people to come to the service, and they did. That helped. That helped a hell of a lot. And also with them, the next generation having a cheaper console and more powerful and cheaper. So yeah, that pretty much killed it. So yeah, these guys, that's what they do. I mean, if there was the other way around, like PlayStation had done well last generation or something like that, they probably wouldn't even done that. Like the PS Plus probably would be what it is now. Like if they would have beat Microsoft with the service they had.
Yeah, just look at Nintendo.
Exactly, Nintendo
resting on their laurels.
They just rest. They not even mean they went up a little bit. They went a little bit. Like the service we got now for Nintendo is what we should have had for the Wii.
Right.
Basically, we should have at least had something like that for the Wii.
Yeah,
but not.
We should be looking at Xbox 360 level service right now on the.
Yeah, exactly.
On the Switch,
we still
at the least
we still haven't even got that. Man, I'm just scared. Like if they go to another Switch, they might just erase all that fucking library. What? Oh my god, if they do that, I swear that people need to just be like, okay, we just gotta say no. You gotta go cold turkey, man. Like people trying to get off drugs and something like that. You just gotta be like, we gotta do something. We gotta force them to not do this shit. Gotta say no. No, I'm sorry. I don't care that was the best Zelda ever. I can't. We ain't getting it because you're taking our games away. All right. So what else we got here, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So I mentioned it real quick, but I didn't write it up here. But we found out this week why MLB The Show will be on Game Pass. It sounds like the Xbox version of that game will be published by the MLB themselves, and they were the ones to make the deal with Microsoft to put it on Game Pass. So, basically Sony kind of got strong-armed out of the deal, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've still got to be making some money off of it, being the one developing the game.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I think they are.
It's like, nope, we're over here making your game, the game developed by Sony, available for this prepaid service. It's kind of a stab in the back, it feels like.
I mean, look, they gave them ultimatum, though. They said if you want to keep the license, to go multi-platform.
Yeah, and they did.
And we're hoping that it looks like they're going to probably go to more platforms next year, possibly, to the Switch and the PC. So
that'd be pretty cool.
That's what, yeah. So, I mean, it's MLB's choice. It's MLB's choice on that. I mean, I wish like EA would get into it so it could be competition. Like I want competition to these games, but I know like it's harder now than before because to stay afloat and then have this big market, like I guess the market's not big enough for more than one. Actually, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty much forced years ago when they did this, when the NFL first did it, which I thought that was bad. I think like for them, I feel like, just put it out there that they have to get your license, right? Just like how different channels have NFL games. Like just have it that the publishers, hey, they pay for your license, and they compete. And if they can't do it, they go away, and to see how long they last. Cause
let them compete in the open market.
Don't force them to be one. That's not good for us. I mean, it's not good for the fans because then they can just rest on their laurels, basically, to a certain point.
Absolutely.
Like they get to a point where people hate it, then they're gonna do some changes, and it'll be good. But then it'll be that game for the next few years until people get mad again.
WWE games, they've been trashed for years, but it's basically the only option.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think the baseball, like I mean. Actually, I don't know if it's like exclusive really for them. I didn't hear anything saying like, oh, Sony gets exclusive. It's exclusive to Sony with MLB. I just think because I think 2K just why did they stop? I think they stopped on their own, didn't they? I gotta look that up. Did they stop on their own or did MLB just take the license away? Because I just thought.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because
first EA stopped and then MLB stopped a few years later.
Yeah,
right?
and they came back and with the show they started something new because they were just what were they were something else. They were something else. They were called something else. Then they called the show. The show was the new title done by Sony.
Yeah.
And while 2K was still making baseball. And basketball, that never was a exclusive deal with anybody.
No, that's just EA fucking up constantly.
Basically. And I just wonder now, even if EA comes with a good basketball game, how people are invested with the online community with 2K. Could they move from that? I wonder. Like, will there be enough people to move away from that? Though, actually, I don't know if things... I have to ask my friend, does shit carry over to the next 2K game from the online service? If it don't, then I guess you can move away from that.
Yeah. That's got to be crazy. I feel like it has to.
I don't know.
You got to keep them invested in the ecosystem.
Yeah, but if there's no the only game, it's like, hey, where else you going to play?
That's true.
You know, you going to play that rugby game or something? What the hell are you going to play? Is that, you going to play cricket?
Yep, cricket. Definitely playing Don Bradman's cricket or whatever that shit is.
Yeah. So, and EA's the only hockey game around. It used to be 2K. Yeah. They're out.
2K just gave up on everything.
Except for basketball.
To continue making shitty WWE games. All right, Dominic. In some other news, this one's kind of weird. As it turns out, Homefront the Revolution secretly had the entire game of Time Splitters 2 in it.
Man.
Like, just in its code, and nobody really knew about it until recently. It was discovered through some reverse engineering that there's basically a remaster of that game inside that game. So now I'm seeing everybody like talking about when Homefront Revolution is on sale. Because it's like, oh, now you want to buy the game. Yeah. Here you go. It's $5.
They say 4K remaster?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Just high resolution assets, Dominic.
Like in Homefront Revolution, they had, this is for the PC version, I guess? Or is it?
Yes, I believe that's the one where you can go, for full 4K. But it is available in all the versions.
Yeah, it is available. Okay, but how would I do that in like my Xbox version? How do I?
It's basically it's basically a controller input.
It's a controller. Oh, that's all it is.
Down, left, right, BA start.
It is a controller input. That's all it is.
It is.
Oh, that's cool then. Yeah, I thought it was something you had to like go in the code and change.
I think you have to be a certain way through the game. But yeah, it's basically a controller input. You unlock the game, and then after that, you able to unlock the different modes and levels because they're locked.
Why is Time Splitters in the game?
Well, it was made by the guys who originally made, because it was Crytek that did Time Splitters 2.
I thought the first Time Splitters was done by the guys who used to do GoldenEye and their new company.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what their name is.
I forgot what the name was too.
But I think there's like lineage there. Still why that entire game's in there?
Free Radical.
Maybe
Free Radical design.
That's what it is. Free Radical. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure some of them ended up at Crytek.
Okay, so it's Time Splitters 2 that's... Because I just... That is Time Splitters 2 that's in the game or Time Splitters 1?
It's 2.
Okay.
Which is the good one.
Okay, yeah.
Like the first one was cool, but the second one is where
it got good. Really exactly.
Became a thing.
It's when it had Vin Diesel on the front of it. Yeah. It is Vin Diesel. Isn't that Vin Diesel?
I mean, he is a bald guy.
Yeah.
Of maybe a mixed race.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if he's just white.
I would sign him up for the Time Splitters 2 movie. I'd definitely get Vin Diesel on board with that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Maybe one of these days because I always looked at Time Splitters 2 and was like, man, I want that game. There's monkeys and it's from the guys that made GoldenEye. Like, I need that. And then I just
3 is where it's at, Daniel. 3 is the best one of all of them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Because
well, I think
it has a real story.
Did Time Splitters 2 come to GameCube or was it 3?
2. It was 2.
Okay. Because I remember looking at 1, and 1 was PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
That was a launch game, right?
Yeah.
And then 2 came along, and I don't know why I never played it.
And their covers were better. The Europe covers for Time Splitters was better than the American. American ones were boring, especially the first one. I'm looking at the UK one. I'm like, good good God, look at that cover. I would have probably bought the game and been still pissed, but I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
That cover looked boring. That's why I was like, why do people like this game?
Yep. All right, Dominic. Let's see. What else do we got in the news?
Oh, his name is Cortez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he's not white. Well, maybe white Hispanic, but yeah. All right. So what we got?
We've got E3, Dominic. It is officially happening this year.
Oh yeah.
Between June 12th and 15th, it will, unfortunately, be a digital only event. Unfortunately, I say for, I don't know, people that want to go to an event, not unfortunately because we're trying to keep safe from COVID.
COVID's gonna be gone by then, though, Daniel. I don't know why people.
I mean, honestly, the way like vaccine stuff is rolling out, it seems like it's getting there. You know, I don't know. Still haven't gotten a call from Maryland, so we'll see how that goes. But all the news I'm seeing is everybody's opening up. You know, vaccine things. You don't have to have a condition or be old or anything anymore. So
yeah.
Although I am seeing stuff about the Johnson & Johnson one now, and there was a thing in Baltimore about how like a company that's making the vaccine down there fucked up a whole bunch of shit. So
I don't want to hear about your conspiracies, Daniel.
That's our legacy. No, it's not a conspiracy, Dominic. It's just fucking not being able to use the vaccine because it was contaminated, apparently. So maybe get some better quality control there, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so E3 from the ESA with partners like Nintendo, Microsoft, Capcom, Konami, Ubisoft, Take-Two Interactive, Warner Brothers,
PlayStation,
and Koch Media.
PlayStation?
What's that?
PlayStation? No PlayStation again.
I mean, they've kind of been out of the game for a little bit now, though, it seems, right? Like
a
even
little bit. That ain't been that
year,
long. I mean, you can't count last year.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like even before last year, didn't they not?
Yeah, they not come, but
no, they still participated, didn't they?
No, well,
I don't know because
they didn't have nothing on the floors. They had.
That's what it was. Okay.
They just did. I think they had maybe a show. I don't know if they.
Yeah, they had their own presentation still, but it was like off campus or whatever.
But I don't think it was live. I mean, I don't think it was like with front of people. I thought it was like a digital show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
it seems like them and like EA, who also isn't on this list, they've already kind of had decided they weren't being part of this stuff. But it's nice because I miss it. We've talked about it before, but like having all this gaming news like crunched into this little time period, like I like seeing and knowing that on June 12th or 13th or 14th or whatever day, Nintendo is going to have their like biggest news they have available on display. And then shortly after that, I'll see the same from Microsoft. And even if, you know, Sony's not involved in it, they know like what it is. So they're going to put their shit out at the same time. And it's like, yeah, give me the big news.
I mean, that's
I want Metro.
I like to have a date, like knowing that, like I know where to anticipate this stuff. Like now we just have it where every now and then we hear, oh, next week it'll be something. Which is kind of cool, but it's
they
like
even give us that much time. Nintendo's like, later today we're going to show some stuff.
It's like it just comes out of nowhere. So, I mean, which is sort of cool, but then it's like, then it's in between news. It's like, what's going on? What's happening with this thing? Like, we don't know when something's going to come out or what. I don't know. But yeah. I'm just glad we having like something. Like, it doesn't have to be E3. Like, I just like.
Yeah, could have been Jeff Keighley's thing, but his thing last year was just so spread out and sporadic.
Well, I
get it. I get wanting like my own time for my game, right? Like, you know, give me a week of media while we talk about whatever, and then you can come out with something else. Because there is a thing to like an E3 where it's like all of this happening at the same time. Some stuff might get lost or might not get the same kind of coverage that you would if you kind of did it on your own and gave yourself a little bit of a cycle to do that stuff. But screw that. I'm not a publisher. I just want to hear all the game news at one time. So, yeah. Good stuff, Dominic. I think my prediction's already false then, because I think I said we weren't doing E3 this year.
Yeah, you did. You did say that.
Oh, well, I'll happily be wrong, Dominic. Give me the video games. And speaking of the video games, Dominic, there's a report coming out of Bloomberg now saying that for a while now, Sony has been working on getting a Last of Us, the original game, remake made. Apparently, they gave it to a studio and kind of didn't have enough people working on it. They were like, here you go, kind of figure things out for a while. And then when Naughty Dog was done with 2, they had some people come in and help them out. But apparently it was more like, oh, they're kind of taking over and we were doing this project, but now it's becoming their thing and not our thing. And yeah, why, Dominic? Why are we doing this? Why are we revisiting this game?
I mean, you just got 2 and you just expand the story where people thought, did you really need a sequel to it? And not that, hey, it turned out to be a good game for some people still. But still, I still think it was a story that didn't need to be a sequel to. I just felt like it could have ended that game to a point. Maybe if there was no 2, maybe a remake would be all right. Maybe. That's a big maybe, though. Because that game
it still
holds
just feels
up.
too soon. That
game holds up. You had a HD remake of it that came on.
Yeah.
But not remake, remaster of it that came on PlayStation 4. That game looks gorgeous. It holds up. Mm-hmm. Why do we need this?
What more do you want?
Yeah. I felt like you could be working on something new.
They should just make The Last of Us the show, the game, and then replace
that's what I was about to say, too. I was going to say, if do it based on a show or something. I don't know. But yeah, this, I'm not, the people I'm seeing, I've seen a lot of people who just saying the same thing we're saying. It's just like, nobody really asks for this because you don't really need it.
Make something new. Why are we revisiting this already?
I was thinking that, they're going to have a 4K version, of The Last of Us Remastered. I thought that was what, I thought really literally that's what that story was.
PS5 or whatever.
Yeah. Or but, or up, with the adaptive controller and stuff, they added some things or something like that.
That'd be cool.
But, yeah, it's okay. Especially, it's just, I don't know. I don't know why. Because then, even if you make the game, and you make it even look much better. Much better. It looks really gorgeous. It looks so realistic. I'm just thinking that could have been a whole new game. That could have been some other game. But you chose to make a game based on something that's already been done. When that could have been just a totally new game using the assets you're using now to make this new one. It's to me, I think that's a race of creativity. I think it's a waste, right now, to do that.
Pretty much. Absolutely.
I'm sure people, I have a feeling like people are going to probably love it. They're going to say, oh, this is so great and stuff. But like I said, something else could have been there. We didn't need this because the other one's a classic to some people. Why? And guess what? I can picture it now. All the articles saying, we don't need this. No, but I'm glad we have it. Or articles, why do we need to say, hey, we do need this, or something like that. And I could just picture that shit.
Why we needed a remake of. Absolutely. Yeah, nobody's going to fight against this, Dominic.
Yeah.
Even though, it's whatever. It's people getting paid, doing their job. But at the same time, think of all the things that we're missing out on having those people spend time on this instead of something else.
People talk about last generation being the generation of remasters. Remastering everything we did back in the 360 and PS3 era. Remake or remaster. Remake is one thing. And but this doesn't need to be remade.
No.
What, dude, come on. You can do something else. I'd rather for you remake Jack and Daxter or something. Shit.
Now we're talking. Yeah, it's wild that this is the franchise that we've glommed ourselves onto when you've got one that's older and you could revisit without too much backlash, and doesn't seem like they're too interested in doing that. Shit. Make an Uncharted.
I'd rather for an Uncharted 5 with like different people, like someone else or something like that. I don't know. But I'd rather for them to do that than a remake of The Last of Us.
There's a movie coming out, Dominic. We could have The Last of Us, the show, the game, and Uncharted, the movie, the game.
Yeah.
We can go back to the 90s when everything was doing that.
All right. So that's it, Dan?
Yeah, that's all I got for news. Did you see anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, I think I'm good, man.
All right. We got some new releases this week, Dominic. We got Oddworld Soulstorm, which we've talked about a little bit in the past because of it being a PlayStation Plus game for the PS5 exclusively. But it is also available on the PC and PS4.
Ooh.
For pay, of course. I've been seeing some positive stuff about that. Some people saying like, hey, if you're into Oddworld, this is a good one of those things.
Okay, that's good.
So that's good. Also, we got Star Wars Republic Commando out on the Nintendo Switch and PS4. So kind of an up-res one of those things, same way they did the Star Wars Racers not that long ago.
Okay, so is it better look? So it's better looking than the one I'm playing on Xbox.
So that's what I wonder, like, because Xbox kind of does its enhancement things when it does backwards compatibility. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, I would like to see like an in-depth Digital Foundry comparison of one of these two versions, preferably the PS4. Yeah,
because I want to get angry like PS4 players are with with the MLB The Show being on Xbox. And
exactly.
So I'd be like,
why are you keeping this away from us?
Yeah, and I want it for free.
We've been talking about Republic Commando for so long now. We wanted it. Yeah. So we got that. We also got Pac-Man 99, which we mentioned for the Nintendo Switch. That's part of the online service. So if you pay for that, it is available for free, and then some single-player content is available with an additional $15 in-game purchase. And then we got The Legend of Heroes Cold Steel 4 on the PC and Nintendo Switch, Dominic. So it's time, Dominic. It's time. You gotta work your way up.
Yeah.
Finish the series.
I know, man. I'm up here. I should have been starting on 3. I should have finished 3 already. But I was like, no, I'm going to go through the whole series again. Because I'm going to just follow it like an idiot. Like, it's at the beginning. I was working. I started with Trails in the Sky again. Was it last year or the year before last? I felt like it was the year before last, end of that year. I felt like it was the end of the year 2019.
I think you're right.
When I played that again. And up till now, I'm just to the Legend of Heroes Cold Steel 1.
That PSP one was taking a while.
It was. That shit was.
On drug out a little bit.
It did. Damn. I think I was doing COVID time too. It was very confusing times for me. It was very confusing times dealing with that. All right. So is that it, Dan?
That's all for our new releases. You got anything else for the week, Dominic?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalwart5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, as well as just the podcast itself. You can download it from there. Those other places you can find us include YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
All right. See ya.